Yeah, well, but I liked you right away
Did
when...
he tell you that I had said that you should...
That we should make out?
Well, no, it was after that. I just looked at the show and I said,
No.
she is really, really good.
At 88 years old, Hollywood legend Warren Beatty has finally broken the silence that lasted a lifetime. After decades of scandal, brilliance, and myth, the man who changed cinema has revealed the name of the one woman he calls his greatest mistake. Not a co-star, not a superstar, not the woman he married, but the woman he admits shaped him more than fame, more than power, more than any role he ever played. To understand why this confession matters, you have to go back before the Oscars, before the headlines, to when he was just Henry Warren Beatty of Richmond, Virginia. And now, he's finally ready to tell the truth. You won't believe who he regrets losing. Born on March 30th, 1937, he grew up in a disciplined Baptist household molded by books, routine, and quiet ambition. His mother, Kathleen Beatty, taught drama at a local high school, filling their home with scripts and rehearsals, while his father, Ira Beatty, a serious and methodical psychologist, moved the family through Richmond, Norfolk, and Arlington. Creativity lived beside structure in the Beatty home, while his sister, Shirley MacLaine, carved her path on Broadway. Young Warren hid in corners practicing impressions, studying comedians like Milton Berle and Al Jolson, building characters long before anyone knew his name. By the time he reached high school, the quiet boy who once hid in the corners of his childhood home had transformed into the charismatic star of Washington Lee High School. He became the school's prized quarterback, the class president, and a top student with football scholarships waiting for him across the country. To everyone else, his future was obvious, a life built on athletic success and stability. But Warren wanted none of it. The life others planned felt too small, too predictable. Something deeper, something far more uncertain, was calling to him. In 1954, he shocked everyone by enrolling at Northwestern University, studying liberal arts, and joining Sigma Chi. But even there, surrounded by friends and opportunity, he felt out of place. The classrooms, the structure, the routine, it all felt like a cage. After just 1 year, he walked away, abandoning the safe path and stepping into the unknown. Acting wasn't just an interest, it was the only future he could imagine. At just 18 years old, he moved to New York City, chasing a dream with more desperation than direction. His apartment was tiny, his meals were cheap, his money never lasted, but his determination never wavered. He studied intensely under Stella Adler, absorbing her teachings on emotional truth and dramatic depth. And to survive, he worked whatever jobs he could find, washing dishes in cramped kitchens, playing piano in rundown bars across Long Island, even working as a sandhog in the dark tunnels beneath Manhattan, digging through dirt and concrete just to pay rent. Every struggle toughened him. Every long night pushed him closer to the moment he had been waiting for. In 1957, at just 19, he got his break. His first television role on Studio One in The Night America Trembled put him on the industry's radar. More roles followed: Kraft Television Theater, Playhouse 90, The Many Loves of Dobby Gillis, each one a step closer to the spotlight he was destined for. Then came the explosion. In 1961, Beatty made his film debut in Splendor in the Grass, starring as Bud Stamper, opposite Natalie Wood. This was the film that changed everything. Beatty demanded realism, challenged director Elia Kazan, and pushed for emotional authenticity in every scene. Hollywood had never seen anything like him. His intensity made him a rising star, but also a threat to the studio system off-screen. The drama ran even deeper. Natalie Wood fell in love with him, but his flirtations with Joan Collins shattered her. Their breakup in 1962 reportedly pushed her to the edge emotionally, a guilt Beatty carried for years. Still, he kept moving. He turned down safe roles like PT 109 and immersed himself in darker, more complex characters in films like Lilith. Directors saw brilliance mixed with chaos. Co-stars saw charm laced with danger. From the very beginning, Warren Beatty wasn't just an actor, he was a force Hollywood couldn't control. The storm turned into a revolution in 1967 with Bonnie and Clyde. Studios hated it. They hated the violence, the sexuality, the French New Wave influence. They gave him 40% of the gross instead of a paycheck because they were certain it would fail. Beatty took the risk anyway. The $2.5 million film exploded into a $70 million global phenomenon, shattering the old Hays Code and changing Hollywood forever. That bloody, groundbreaking ending, more than 50 cuts in under a minute, became one of cinema's defining sequences. Beatty wasn't just acting, he was rewriting the future of film, but his personal life was just as fiery. In 1967, he met Julie Christie while filming McCabe and Mrs. Miller, and their relationship became one of Hollywood's most iconic, passionate, explosive, and filled with betrayals. They loved deeply, but Beatty kept chasing others, including Goldie Hawn and Michelle Phillips. Christie once called him the greatest love of her life and the greatest pain. Meanwhile, Beatty continued breaking rules. His politics fueled The Parallax View in 1974, a paranoia-soaked thriller connected to the tension of Watergate. Behind the scenes, he fired director Alan Pakula, taking the reins himself. Control became his addiction. It consumed him on the set of Shampoo in 1975, where he cast Julie Christie, Michelle Phillips, and even pursued 16-year-old Carrie Fisher, creating an environment so messy and emotional that the tension was almost visible on film. But all of this, every scandal, every ambition led him toward the masterpiece that nearly destroyed him, Red's 1981. Beatty spent years researching journalist John Reed, interviewing more than 100 people in the Soviet Union, filming across 4 countries, and demanding take after take after take. Extras rioted, actors snapped, Jack Nicholson nearly quit. Beatty poured his soul, his politics, and millions of his own dollars into the film. And when he won the Oscar for Best Director, he thanked Julie Christie in front of Annette Bening, the woman who would become his wife, because Christie was the ghost he could never escape. The 1990s brought new storms. His film Dick Tracy became a hit, but tabloids erupted over his affair with Madonna. Bugsy 1991 gave him 10 Oscar nominations and a new life with Annette Bening. They had 4 children, Kathleen, Benjamin, Isabel, and Ella. But whispers of old infidelities, a privately confirmed child from the 1970s, and lingering emotional chaos followed him. Then came the disasters. Ishtar 1987 became one of Hollywood's biggest flops. Rules Don't Apply 2016, a film he spent decades developing, bombed so severely, making just $3.6 million that producers sued him for $18 million. Lawsuits accusing him of misconduct from the late 1970s resurfaced under California law decades later. One case in 2022 accused him of coercing a 14-year-old during the promotion of Heaven Can Wait. The case was dismissed in 2023 due to procedural blocks, not because the claims were disproven. Beatty offered a vague apology referencing youthful indiscretions, but the damage to his legacy was already carved out by 2025. Beatty had almost vanished from public life. Friends described him as fragile, forgetful, and deeply private. He skipped his daughter Ella Benning's Broadway debut, a finished film he made with Annette, The Women of the Castle, sat unreleased because he refused to move forward with it. Some said it was age, others said pride. He didn't want the world to see him looking weak. But among all the ghosts of his past, the scandals, the career missteps, the lovers, the lawsuits, only one haunted him more than any other. Julie Christie. Their love story began in 1966 during the Royal Command performance in London. For nearly a decade they built and destroyed each other. They made unforgettable films, McCabe and Mrs. Miller, Shampoo, and the tension-filled Heaven Can Wait in 1978. But when Beatty wanted marriage and children, she wanted freedom. She ended it by phone in the fall of 1974. He was shattered. He even promised to pay her alimony if they ever broke up, despite never being married. She refused, saying she didn't want to be owned. Warren Beatty could never let go. Even at the height of his power, even after redefining Hollywood, one name still lived in the quiet corners of his mind: Julie Christie. When he completed Reds, the film he poured his soul, money, and sanity into, he dedicated it to her. It wasn't a professional gesture. It was a confession disguised as a credit, a message only she would truly understand. Then, in 2020, fate brought her back into his world when Julie Christie and her husband stayed at his guest house in Los Angeles. One evening, Beatty finally said what he'd hidden for decades. She was the one he measured everyone else against. The admission shook his home life, but it was the only truth he had left. Now, in 2025, as he sits alone in his Los Angeles home, scribbling ideas and replaying old memories. Warren Beatty finally admits the truth he hid for half a century. She's still the ghost I can't shake. After decades of fame, after more than 12,000 women, after every triumph and scandal, his legacy isn't defined by the movies he made, but by the love he lost. His greatest regret, his greatest mistake, was losing Julie Christie. If this story moved you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood revelations. Thanks for watching.